Today, we're going to talk about something that feels almost too simple to be true, but has some pretty profound psychology behind it: writing things down. We're going to uncover why taking a thought out of your head and putting it on paper can completely change your ability to actually do the thing you said you do.
So let me just ask you this. Why does writing a goal down feel so much more real than just thinking it or even saying it out loud? You've probably felt that, right? Well, it turns out there's some fascinating science behind that feeling, and we're about to unpack it.
Our journey starts in a place that might be pretty familiar to a lot of you: a corporate training session. There's a simple exercise they do here that actually reveals a powerful truth about how our brains lock in commitment.
So picture this. The training's wrapping up and everyone is asked to do one last thing. Just write down their commitments on paper. On the surface, it seems like, a pretty standard wrap-up exercise. Nothing special. But here's the thing. This isn't just about taking notes or keeping records. This simple physical act is actually a very deliberate psychological tool. It's designed to make those commitments stick long after everyone has packed up and gone home. And that psychological tool, well, that's really at the heart of what we're talking about today. We're going to dive into the psychology of commitment to see exactly why the physical act of writing is such a game changer. The big idea at play here is something called behavioral psychology. Now, I know that sounds a little academic, but the concept is actually super simple. Our physical actions can directly influence our internal thoughts. The very act of writing can literally shape and strengthen our resolve. And this isn't just some happy accident, it's the whole point. The research shows this exercise is designed specifically to ensure the message stays longer in the mind of the employees. It's a deliberate technique, a hack really, to boost retention and commitment. So what's happening here is this powerful psychological loop. It all starts with an intention, right? A thought. Then, the physical act of writing it down actually engages more of your brain, creating stronger neural pathways. And that reinforcement helps turn a flimsy thought into a much more permanent, actionable memory. So how does a simple thought become a concrete commitment? Let's look at that crucial transformation from just an abstract idea to something you feel you have to do.
The key action here is that participants list down their promises. That physical process, forming the words on a page, it translates a vague idea into something tangible. It literally forces you to get clear about what you're promising. And this really gets to the core of it. A thought is internal. It's flexible. It's super easy to change or just forget about. But a written promise, that becomes an external fact. It exists out there in the real world. And that adds this subtle but incredibly powerful layer of accountability.
Okay, so what's the result? What happens when we make these promises real and tangible? Well, the impact creates this ripple effect that helps both the person making the promise and the organization they're part of.
This one simple action is directly linked to three really critical outcomes. You get increased personal motivation, a much stronger sense of commitment, and ultimately a higher level of overall engagement. And the effect is real. You can measure it. This isn't just a warm and fuzzy feeling, it's a visible shift in engagement. That written promise acts like a catalyst, lifting a person's commitment to a whole new level. And that's the real beauty of this whole technique. It is so incredibly efficient. It's just one simple action, the act of writing, that directly fuels three of the most wanted qualities in any team: motivation, commitment, and engagement. And that's why this small step is actually a huge deal. In a world full of complex strategies and frameworks, it's a great reminder that sometimes the most effective tools are the simplest ones, the ones grounded in just basic human psychology. So let's bring this all back to you. This doesn't just work at the office. This works for personal goals, new habits, anything you truly want to commit to. So I'll leave you with this question. What one promise to yourself could you make real right now just by writing it down?